Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to do a practice focusing on working with space element. Space element hosts all of the other elements. So in this practice, we're going to touch upon each of the other four elements, and we're going to conclude in a pose that epitomizes space element, Shavasana. And we're going to spend a little bit longer in Shavasana today and really try to relax into that hosting, spacious, and sort of open to the possibilities nature of space element and of that posture. So let's take a few moments as we begin to just close our eyes. And take a couple of deep breaths, just relaxing in. Don't control the breath, just let it be deep. Letting out tension as you exhale and feeling your sit bones against the floor. Feeling your hips relax and open. Feel your shoulders soften and relax. And then start to notice the belly becoming softer as you bring the breath down into the belly. You're going to inhale and inflate the belly with your inhalation. As you exhale, let it soften back towards the spine. And as you feel your sit bones settling into the earth, send roots down into the earth, connecting with the stability and groundedness, rootedness of earth element. As you bring that deep breath into the body and you draw up from those roots, connect to the nourishing aspect of water element. Feeling every part of your body filled with that nourishment. As you settle in, noticing a sense of warmth and enthusiasm that's brought to you by fire element. This persistent possibility of transformation, always changing every moment, every in-breath and out-breath, a small transformation. Noticing the rhythm of your breath. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat, feel the movement and touch of the breath brought to you by wind element. And then hosting and noticing all of these sensations all at once, hosting made possible by space element. Bringing the palms of the hands together in front of the heart, and we'll start with the sound Om 3 times. Relaxing the hands down and just checking in with your sensations. And then go ahead and open your eyes. And we're going to move our props out of the way. And we're going to start off today coming to a kneeling position, Vajrasana. Sitting nice and tall with a long flat spine. Lifting up through the top of the head. On your next inhalation, go ahead and lift your arms up and really feel your shin bones rooted down into the earth, connecting with earth element there, connecting to that support and stability Deep breath in as you exhale, hinging forward at the hips, long flat back. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, hinging forward. Inhaling, lifting up. Finding your own rhythm, connecting with that rhythmic sense of wind element. Feeling how the belly presses into the thighs and how the thighs press into the belly. Three more. And coming up to sitting for a moment, relax the arms down, just checking your sensations, noticing any changes that have taken place, feeling spreading warmth and awakeness. And then coming to striking cobra pose, connecting a little bit more with water element. Inhale, lifting the arms, exhaling, hinging forward, planting the hands down. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhale, lower all the way to the ground with a flat back. Inhale, lifting up to cobra. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Moving at your own rhythm, trying to avoid pinching the shoulders up towards the ears or twisting the shoulders forward. So keeping the shoulders nice and broad here. As you inhale and pull back, imagine that you could really engage through the core to make that movement. If you find that this movement is pretty comfortable and easy for you, you can go a little deeper into the shoulders as long as there's no shoulder injury and you're going to move a little bit faster. So you're inhaling, coming forward, exhaling back. As before, finding your own rhythm. Let's do two more. And on the next one, we're going to hold the cobra position. So you're going to come forward, hold the position. Maybe you're creeping your hands a tiny bit forward, lifting through the chest and engage through the upper back and through the mid back, and not so much you're not really pushing with the hands. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, lift the chest. And exhaling, release. Let's just bring the forehead to the floor and come to Advasana. So you're tucking the chin enough so that you can bring your forehead to the floor comfortably, lengthening the back of the neck, resting the clasped hands on the back of the head, and breathing into the belly. Good. Bringing the hands alongside the ribs. We're going to exhale and pull back again to child's pose. And then relax here and breathe. And then inhale, coming up to sitting. Checking your sensations, breathing. Good. And then you're going to come up onto hands and knees. So bringing the hands directly under the shoulders and taking a moment to kind of feel the center of weight so that you're not pressing too hard into the heels of the hands or too hard into the pads of the fingers, but that the weight is sort of evenly distributed through the hands. The knees are right underneath the hips, and we're just going to start with cat-cow. So inhaling, arching the back. Exhaling, curving. Inhale, arching. Exhale, curving. And then the next exhalation, you're going to bring your left knee in towards your nose. And inhale, lifting the leg and arching the back. And imagine, you want to keep that knee bent, and imagine you could touch the toes to the top of your head. Exhale and inhale. Focusing on the hips, the movement of the hips and the opening of the hips. If you feel like you can move a little more quickly and let the motion have a little more momentum, then go ahead and do that. Letting the movement be a bit more free. Good. And then relax. And before we go to the other side, let's just take a moment to pause. This is space element again. So we're finding that place of hosting all of our sensations, noticing everything. And then we're going to come once again to hands and knees. So we're going to do the other side. First, we're going to start with cat-cow again. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then on the next exhalation, you're going to bring your right knee towards your nose. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, and inhale. And again, if you feel comfortable and you want to move a little more quickly, two more. And again, coming down to rest for a moment, checking with your sensation, breathing. Noticing. Good. And now we're going to come once again to hands and knees, and this time we're going to come to downward facing dog or mountain pose. Full deep breaths. Spread the shoulders apart, lengthen the spine, lift the hips. And on your next inhalation, step the left foot forward into a lunge, and we're going to keep the right knee off of the floor. Bring the hands to the hips. And then if you'd like to, you can lift the arms up overhead. Now, take a moment to really bend the right knee and tuck the pelvis so that the tailbone is pointing straight down. And you're almost like scooping up the pubic bone a tiny bit. And then from that position, you're going to press back through that back heel, starting to straighten the leg without tilting the pelvis back again. Full deep breaths, lift the chest. If you need to bring the knee to the floor, you can do that. Keep breathing. Exhaling, hands to either side of the left foot. Step the left foot back. Coming back again to mountain pose or downward dog. And then stepping the right foot forward, keeping the left toes tucked under. And again, bend that left knee so that your hips are nice and straight. The pubic bone is slightly lifted, the tailbone is dropping down. And you can keep the hands on the hips, or you can inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. Lifting the chest, starting to press back through that back heel without tilting the pelvis forward. And exhaling, if you want to bring the knee down, you can. Exhaling, bringing the hands forward, stepping the right foot back again. Breathe into your whole shape. And relax the knees down and come for a moment again to sitting and checking your sensations and noticing. Good. And then once again, come back to hands and knees. Inhaling, lifting the right arm, draw the shoulder back and away from the ear, and lift the left leg. And try to find a nice long line of connection from the right hand to the left heel. Try not to shift your hips off to the right. Find a center. Full deep breaths. Keep the belly lifted, so you're lifting through the navel center towards the spine, keeping the low back long. Relax the right hand and left knee down. Take a few breaths here, checking in. And then lifting the left arm and the right leg. Same deal. Full deep breaths, lifting the navel towards the spine. Long line of connection from the left hand to the right heel. Relax the left hand down and the right knee down. And again, checking your sensations, pausing, breathing. Once again, hands and knees. Inhale, lifting the hips to mountain pose, and then we're going to just walk the hands and the feet towards each other, coming to a standing forward bend. Lifting through the sit bones, lifting the shoulders away from the ears. And now I want you to turn your feet out about 45 degrees, and you're either going to keep your fingers in a sort of spider position in front of you or tuck the hands underneath the arches of the feet. You'll see in a moment which works for you best. On your next inhalation, you're going to drop your hips and come down to a squat, lifting the chest, and maybe your squat looks more like this, and this is absolutely fine. So inhaling and exhaling. On the next inhalation, you come back into your squat, wherever that is for you. Exhale, lifting the hips. Inhale, lifting the chest and squatting. Exhale, moving at your own rhythm. Full deep breaths. Three more. On your next exhalation, come into the forward bend and stay there. Stay folded forward. Turn the feet parallel to each other, but keep them in that nice shoulder distance apart. And then bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, lifting all the way up to standing. Planting down through the feet. Finding the rooting down into your feet. Keeping the eyes open. Checking your sensations. Good. So really planting down through those feet, making sure they're parallel and shoulder distance apart. Interlace through the fingers. Inhale, lifting the arms. Drop down through the shoulders as you lengthen the low back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to one side. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale. Finding your own rhythm. And envisioning the navel center as your pivot point. Keep both feet firmly rooted into the earth. Moving with every breath. One more on each side. And back to center. Relax the arms down. Breathe. And checking your sensations. Full deep breaths. Now spreading your feet wider, about the distance if your arms were spread under each wrist, and turn them in very, very slightly. And then interlace the fingers behind the back. We're going to roll the shoulders forward, lift them up towards the ears, and then roll them back again as if you could pinch your shoulder blades together, pinch a ball between your shoulder blades. Press your palms as close together as you can. Lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale, hinging forward. Keep the hands close together. Keep the shoulder blades close together. Lift through the sit bones and rock the weight forward slightly towards the toes. Reach with your knuckles and with your heart. So you're trying to spread your chest forward and you're reaching your knuckles back. You can nod your head, shake your head a little bit. Breathing right into that space between your shoulder blades. Inhaling, reaching through the knuckles, lift yourself all the way back up to standing. Release the clasp. Check your sensations, checking especially into the chest and shoulders. Good. And then we're going to reinterlace. Try to take the unfamiliar clasp. So if you're used to clasping with your right index finger on top, bring your left index finger on top this time. Roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Lift the chest. Inhale, exhale. Bringing the weight towards the toes. Inhaling, reaching through the knuckles, lifting all the way back up to standing. Release the clasp, checking sensations. Good. Now we're just going to turn the feet a little bit. So you're going to turn the right foot towards the right side of your room, and you're going to turn the left toes in. And as you do that, I want you to turn your hips to face the same direction as the front leg. Sometimes that means you need to separate the feet a little wider on your mat from right to left so that you have a little more space to get that hip turned around. So if you need to make that adjustment, go ahead and make that adjustment. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, make sure the right knee is pointing in the same direction as the toes. You can shift your feet around a little bit to find the good position that feels good in your hips and in your legs. Root down through that back heel. Inhaling, lifting the arms up. And then we're going to actually bring the arms out to the sides. Inhale, exhale, touching the shoulders. Inhale, stretching the arms out. Exhale, touching the fingers to the shoulders. I want you to have the sense again that you're rooting down into the earth. You're drawing nourishment up from the earth, up into the core of the body, the navel center, up to the heart, and out to the fingertips with every breath. Inhaling, exhaling back to the heart and navel center. Inhaling all the way up from the feet to the fingertips. Exhaling. Drawing on a sense of power and stability. And on the next inhalation, we're going to bring the palms together once again, lifting through the chest, reaching from the fingertips to the back heel. Noticing if you lift it up out of that front knee and bring yourself back down again, bring your hips closer to the floor. Inhaling and exhaling. Long arch. No pinching in the low back. Long, long arch. And inhaling the torso sort of upright and lift up out of that front knee and turn the feet parallel. Relax the arms down. Checking your sensations. Good. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Turn the left toes out, but scoot the left foot over to the left a little bit before we start turning the right foot. And then you're going to turn the right foot and rotate the hips. Bring the hips into alignment with the front of your mat. Deep breath in, exhaling, finding the position for your left knee, pointing in the same direction as the toes. Right heel rooting down. Inhale, lifting the arms, spread them out to the sides. Inhale and exhale. Don't be afraid to make adjustments if you find that something's not quite right for you in a position. And then on the next inhalation, bringing the palms together. Inhaling, lifting up, turning the feet back to parallel. And go ahead and step the feet together. And check your sensations. Full deep breathing. Good. Inhaling, lifting the arms. Exhaling, hinging forward and planting the hands and walking the feet back to mountain pose, finding your mountain pose again, or downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale, bring the knees to the floor. And we're going to shift our weight off to the right hip, onto the right hip, and bring your right foot against the top of your right thigh, your left thigh, so that your toes and your knee are in line with each other. And then we're going to frame the front knee with our hands. So one hand on either side. Lift the hips and shift them a bit to the right, and you'll find your sit bones, both sit bones coming closer to the floor, probably the right sit bone on the floor. Take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to walk the hands forward, lengthening the torso out over that thigh. Stretch out the left arm. Breathe deeply. Try to flatten the back into the thigh. So you're trying to make your torso as flat as you can. And if you've got really open hips, it might take a minute to kind of find the opening in this position. What I suggest is you just kind of shift your hips around and keep lengthening. Think about lengthening through the right hip and right sit bone. And rotating the left one forward and also lengthening through it. And then you're going to walk yourself towards the center, towards the ankle of your right leg, and maybe you're going to bring your forehead to the floor or your hands, maybe. Breathe here for a few moments into that right hip, right buttock. And then continue walking the hands to the left and lengthen that right arm out nice and long so that you feel a nice lengthening through the whole right side of the body. Use your left hand either against the floor in front or right up against your left knee to help you hug that knee in close as you lengthen through the right side of the body. And then coming back towards the front knee, lifting up. And we're going to switch sides. So bringing the left knee forward with the left foot against the right thigh. And again, bringing the hands to either side of the left hip, lengthening out and coming forward. Bringing the right arm out long. Flattening and lengthening the back, lengthening through both sides of the hips. Walking your hands towards the center, over the left ankle, left leg. And then bringing your body towards the right knee, lengthening the left arm out long. Good. And then coming back towards the front knee. Lift up. And now we're going to go back to the right knee in front again. This time we're going to cross the left leg over. Now if you can sit comfortably like this with both sit bones on the floor, then I'm going to have you stay in this position. If you can't, if you find that your left sit bone is lifting off the floor, stretch your right leg out in front of you straight. Lift up nice and tall through the top of your head. Whichever is going to work for you, go ahead and take that position, lift up nice and tall, and we're going to press the left knee out of the way with the left hand, bringing the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Lift up nice and tall through the top of your head. Inhaling, lifting your left arm up and over, and then you're going to rotate. Try to rotate from the core, so you're really bringing that rotation deep down into the abdominals and rotating to look over the left shoulder. Now, don't force this pose. Try to find a position where you can comfortably breathe, because we're going to use this position today as more of a meditative position rather than just a physical position. So for a moment now, as you find your position, I want you to close your eyes now and lift up through the top of your head. I want you to see your whole body now as a body of light, red light. And up the very center of that body of light is a thin, narrow tube of blue light. I want you to imagine that at the base of your pelvis, you see a sort of pool of iridescent liquid. And as you inhale, it rises up that blue channel all the way up through the body, up to the crown of the head, and it collects at the top of the head like a disc of moonlight, like a moon disc, a full moon disc. It can help to touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth to sort of engage that circuit. With each breath, seeing that essence, creative essence, rising up through the whole body and collecting in a pool on the top of your head. Relax the shoulders. Finding a position where you can comfortably breathe and comfortably stay focused on this visualization, not so worried about the physical opening of this posture. And exhaling, releasing and rotating forward, opening your eyes if you had them closed. Take a deep breath. And then we're going to switch sides. Same thing on the other side. Lifting up nice and tall through the top of your head. Pressing, and again, if you need to keep that left leg straight, doing that. Pressing into the outside edge of your right knee with your right hand, bringing the left elbow to the outside of the knee. Inhaling and exhaling. Now, if this is too much, you can just hold the leg like this and you'll still get the benefit of the pose. Inhale, lift the right arm up and over, plant it down behind you. Engaging from the core to do that rotation from as deep down in your torso as you can, and then turning your head in the same direction, closing your eyes, and engaging that collection of nectar at the base. Drawing it up through that blue channel, Sushumna Nadi, the central channel, up to the crown of the head. Where it collects like a disc of moonlight on top of your head. Deep breath in and exhaling, coming forward. Good. And just again, checking your sensation. And then one last posture before Shavasana. You have a couple options here. I'm going to show you a posture that you may have not practiced before. If you'd like to, instead, you can feel free to practice headstand. But I want you to make sure that you're really there for it today. So that means you're not feeling at all weak or extra tired or a little bit depleted from your cleansing process. So if you have a regular practice of headstand and it's something that you feel strong enough for today, then you can feel free to go ahead and do headstand. What we mostly want to do is awaken the energy at the top of the head. So you can either do that practice or you can do this one that I'm about to show you, which might be a new one to you. Let's bring the hands to the floor, and we're going to bring the head right between the hands. And then we're going to bring the hands to rest on the calves. As you do that, I want you to kind of curve the back as much as you can, lifting the center of the spine, the space between the shoulder blades towards the ceiling, lifting the shoulders away from the ears, and pressing the top of the head into the floor. And breathe here. Really open up that space between the shoulder blades. Full deep breathing. And then releasing the hips back towards the heels, coming to child's pose, relaxing the forehead to the floor, and focusing here on sensation around what we call the third eye, or Ajna chakra, the space just behind the center of the eyebrows. Try to see a glowing sphere of white or blue light there. And breathe into that. Good. And then coming up to sitting, we're just going to come down now to Shavasana. Go ahead and relax, stretch your legs out in front of you, and let's bring if you need anything to make yourself more comfortable, like a blanket or a cushion under the knees or anything like that, or a sweater, go ahead and put that on. Make any last adjustments you need to make, making sure that the hips are relaxed. You can shift them around a little bit and find a relaxed spot for them. Let the feet spread a bit. Arms come to the side, palms facing the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. We're going to make 3 deep breaths in, and we're going to let them out with the sound ah. This is the sound of Ananda Shakti, which is the bliss without opposite, literally, which means this sort of open, spacious, contented space that has no conflict. Deep breath in. Again, deep breath in. One last time, deep breath in. Feeling your sensations, aware of your whole body lying over the floor. And just allowing your awareness to become spacious and hosting everything that comes up, all sensations and thoughts, letting them arise and then pass away again at their own rhythm. Neither pushing nothing away nor pulling anything towards you, just being with everything as it is. Noticing if you're clinging to anything, holding on to anything, and if you are, just let it go with the exhalation. Continuing to lie here, relaxing as I chant for you once more our closing prayer. We're making an offering to the benefit of all beings, so the merit of our practice goes out and is shared to all beings. And I'm going to sing one a little bit louder, chant one that's a little bit longer today than I have been. Om Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma amritam gamaya, sarvesham swastir bhavatu, sarvesham shantir bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Trayambakam yajamahe, sugantim pushtivardhanam, urvarukamiva bandhanam, mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. May all beings benefit from the merit of our practice. Thank you so much for practicing today. Namaste.